What's up everyone, I'm Daggers in Darkness. Now despite all the crazy media news going on, I had a package come the other day. Now this package was sent from Zendu. Obviously I did purchase it, so it's not a sponsored video, but kudos to them. They have an Australian warehouse, so you can purchase stock from Australia, which is nice. So today we're looking at the Kar98 Sniper. Now guys, before you go out and buy one of these are more collector's item pieces than efficient means of blasters in a skirmish. Now, that being said and done, this is obviously a small scale version. It is not a 1:1 scale, and I'm not going to try and pronounce that, any of that, or this here, just because me pronouncing any word that isn't like English is absolutely terrible, and I'm not going to ruin the vibe. So it is known as the Kar98k Sniper. So let's get into it. It comes with a couple of basic things in the box. So it comes with a suppressor, a fake scope, which I'm not going to put on because I had a look at it before, and it's just one of the cheap Chinese plastic scopes, which, you know, some people put on their blasters. I'm not a big fan of. They're just plastic and crap, and, you know, they're not good. It comes with a suppressor, or, I mean, a fake silencer, you could say, even though it says SD, MP7, etc. It's a PUBG version of the blasters, so it does come with a little gas tank and the blast shield helmet, which does say PUBG on it, which, yeah, is obviously a video game. I'm not going to have to go into explain that because pretty much everyone knows what PUBG is, so yeah, let's just get into the review. So first look of it, without getting the box to fall over, which that's just not going to happen, it is definitely not 1:1 scale. Like I said, it's a small kids toy blaster. It is recommended for age group of 14 and above. So yeah, so basically there's a slight guideline, you know, should be 14 to use it, but yeah, that's just what they do as a labeling standard to obviously warn consumers, you know, these are meant for 14-year-olds and above. So guys, this actually is a pretty cool, unique style blaster. There obviously is the Kar98k mag fed as well, but it's shell ejecting. I didn't want that one. I have the JF19. They're not awesome. They're fun. They're kind of like a blaster you troll with. They're really not effective, and I don't see this being effective on the field unless it was a manual blasters only, so M14s, manual Glocks, etc. You can't use this against M4s, Scars, etc. It's not going to compete against fully automatic with high range and fire rate. So the mag release is on the bottom here. It is this button here. You just push the button in and pull the magazine out. It's got a unique style magazine that it fills up from the rear, which I'll show you guys now. Fills up from the rear, has a push prime, which they said in the actual, there was like an instructional paperwork I found on Google, basically that you can press to prime it, but it doesn't really work. You kind of have to put it in and do some dry fires. So the mechanism is here, and that is where the balls go in. So when you pull back the charging handle, you can see it loads the ball and then is ready to shoot. So a couple of things to note before you go out and shoot all this. Obviously it's downsized. Magazine needs to be full of gels in the back. Just chuck the magazine in like so. Dry firing, it doesn't hurt it. Some people say it does, but it actually doesn't. Magazine fits in quite nicely. You can get spare mags for it. It has a small rail for a 20mm rail on the top, which is about 2 inches long. You could put a sight or a scope on there, but I don't see the point. It kind of looks a bit ridiculous because of the small size of it. The actual cocking mechanism is quite interesting. It has multiple elements that are interesting. It has either magnet or a locking function. So when that's up, you can't actually pull the trigger. Even though the trigger moves a little, it won't actually fire. The actual bolt handle has to be down for the actual trigger to actually pull. And that's also effective with this safety here. Safety back, can't pull. Safety forward, you can pull. So a couple of things to note, you have to pull charging handle back, forward and down. And there's a couple little distinctions that I've found when using this, that when you actually prime it and cock it, if you don't do it quickly, it will automatically fire, and I hope you guys can hear that. But it locks in, and then, you know, basically if the safety's on, or off, you should say, you can shoot it like so. But sometimes if you're slow with the cocking or bolt handling process, it will actually fire. I'll see if I can show you. If you go really slow about it and it slams, it actually disengages the actual effect of actually priming the mag. The mag will still prime, but it deactivates the spring in it, and then it won't shoot. So if you cock it properly the next time, generally 2 gels will come out. So that's a little thing to note. Also, if you slam the handle down hard, like if you give it a bump, it will fire. So like lifting up and dropping it down again, it will actually activate the trigger. And if you see right now, pushing the handle back into the reset right here, after priming it, sometimes will actually fire the blaster, which is a little bit annoying if you were using it at a manual game. You can't rely on that when you pull the handle back, push it forward, slap it down, it may actually fire. So in some circumstances, you will fire a gel into the wall in random directions. You can't really rely on it. You've got to get really swift with it so that, you know, you got to be swift so it doesn't actually jam or reset. And you can see on the third go it reset. Also, it's hard to hold. Me having average sized hands, I have to wrap around and then position it awkwardly just to actually be able to prime. I generally can't have my thumb there. As you can see, it hits the actual bolt, which is quite annoying. So you've really got to have your hand out of the way. It is good to notice that if you actually want to use this, use it right-handed. So hold blaster with your left hand, cock with your right, and then shoot with your right hand. It actually is a lot easier because you're stabilizing the blaster either between the trigger guard and the magazine or past the magazine. You can stabilize here or here and fire with your right hand. Left-handed firing is a little bit more trickier because your thumb can get in the way, but you can be a little bit more tall order with it in the sense that you can still pull the trigger and shoot at the same time once cocking. So if I show you that's left-handed, then right-handed you have to actually grab the trigger. And as you can see, sometimes the mechanism actually disengages and it will fire a burst of air. So guys, it's a really cool blaster to have in a collector's piece. It's not something that's super effective. The range is about 10 to 15 meters with arcing, of course. The barrel itself, to note, if you aim the blaster down once you've cocked it and you're going to fire it, the gel ball will actually roll out. I'm not sure if this is just for this model or this blaster I personally have, but it could be a manufacturing error, or it could be that all of the Kar98 mag-fed blasters do that. So guys, that's something to note. Don't cock it then aim it at the ground because your gel ball will roll out. I've noticed this a lot. So you really got to be, you know, on ball with how you use it, when you're going to use it, if you do use it at a skirmish. I'm going to take it to a skirmish and show everyone, and it's a cool little piece. I've thought about cutting it down, so if anyone has ever played Battlefield 1, there's like an Obrez sniper. It's actually a pistol class, but it is a bolt-action magazine-fed sniper. And basically, it's the trench version of the actual sniper. And I've cut the stock and the barrel down. And I actually might end up doing that just for shits and gigs. I haven't decided yet, but I want to take it apart, figure out if there's any important mechanics in the stock part here. If there's not, you can just basically cut along here, give it more of a double-powered shotgun handle look kind of feel, and I'm going to figure out if I can install a metal barrel so that the gel balls don't roll out. It's a little bit tighter. I feel like it's got a 9mm barrel, so when we look at the actual barrel of it itself, it's quite wide. It could be about 10mm, so it could be about a centimeter. So that obviously loses pressure because it's not an actual 8 to 7.4mm barrel. So you might be able to get a little bit more pressure out if you do a barrel change, but it just depends how the internals work and what I'm going to do in the future. But guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time.